We got hacked out today on some family vacation, I believe, or something along those lines. He shall be back next week, and all ties and all fortified. Oh shit! Is this the guy showing up?
There.
The guy.
Yeah, you can design. You can design your own child from scratch and release it before WoW release a patch.
And it'll be a real child. It won't be a beta. Oh man! All right.
On a side note, I made Demon Hunter now, so
Right, and see now we're
yeah.
expansion passed, and now it's not
His
the new
point
toy.
stands.
So. All right, good morning, people. Thank you for waking up some morning wood this bright May 30th. We're going to be rolling into episode 18, week of 6/1. So was that June 1st, in the week of World of Warcraft. We'll jump right on into it here with myself and Mr. Thunderfury. We got hacked out today on some family vacation, I believe, or something along those lines. He shall be back next week, and I think we're probably about due for a special guest. What do you think, Drew? Should we?
yeah, somebody.
All right, we'll pull in some new blood next week. We'll see what we can find. If you're a streamer and if you're interested in talking about WoW, reach out to us. We'll get you on the show. Love to have new people, new personalities, new perspectives on things going on here. I guess we'll jump right onto the Mythic pluses for this week. So we're on the third rotation, and it's the second week of this 12-week rotation. It's a Tyrannical week. So Tyrannical, of course, bosses are going to have 30% more health. Bolstering, when non-boss enemies die, their death cry empowers nearby allies, increasing their maximum health and damage by 20%. And then also Storming, so that's while in combat. Enemies periodically summon a damaging whirlwind to spin around, and that's kind of more of a melee issue right there, Drew.
Yeah, it's not so much. It's not a bad week for Ty, but I mean it's a Ty week, so
Right. So, talking about the Ty week thing, so have you looked into 9.1, the changes they're making now with the new IO score?
yeah, I've heard a little bit about it. It's interesting.
So, some numbers I found is to get KSM in 9.1, you're going to have to do all ties and all fortified. Oh shit. Is this the guy showing up?
There.
The guy was. Yeah.
Oh man, let's see if we can adjust this real quick then.
I'm not sure how well this is gonna go though, because as soon as I fucking drop Wi-Fi, it'll be a shit show.
Properties.
I'm Betty!
Yeah. As soon as I started helping.
You're so...
Yeah.
Wow, what would I...
I'm like your lucky charm. Damn, I'm good at finding stuff.
Yep.
All right, that really wasn't that long of a swap. All right, good deal. Back at us. We got hacked back here. So, we're just covering Mythic pluses and the hacked wife, Mrs. Burn It Down, as we like to call her. Let's see here.
Wow.
So we're talking about 9.1 with KSM system changing. Have you looked into that hack of what the new change is going to implement with the IO score in game?
Not much. I was talking to. I probably sound like shit right now?
No.
I need to grab my headset. But
Yeah, you're good.
I was actually talking to Aster about it last night. We were sitting there chatting it up, and I kind of like the way it's set up with, you know, a like extra score for fortified or tyrannical doing the dungeons in both variants. Because Because I think it gives at least some kind of a reward for doing it on Tyrannical, rather than just, why would I do it on Tyrannical when I can just wait till next week, do it on Fortified, and I'm done. I don't know much outside of that, but still haven't looked at numbers or anything.
So, as of right now, the way it's going to be implemented is for you to get KSM, you're going to have to do a 15 in everything for Fortified and for tie. So that's the way the point score is going to lay out. If you want to skip all tie weeks and just do Fortifieds to get that score, you'd have to do 24s of everything if you did no tie weeks. So you're going to have to do some tie weeks to get KSM now to get the total score needed. And I guess, so on that side, so everybody skips Tyrannical. What do you think is the main downfall to Tyrannical there, Drew?
Well, I mean, just the bosses have so much health, and you waste so much time on a boss, and if you happen to wipe to a boss, it's done. Like, the key is just done. Where on tie weeks, you could wipe to trash, come back, and probably still be able to time the key. Because, like, if you invest, I don't know, like 5 minutes into a boss, and then you wipe on him, you can't recover from that.
Fair.
And that's usually the times that you would wipe to it, because it's going so long that you're running out of resources at that time, so it's when you're going to wipe.
So what do you think they can do to fix that? Like, kind of bring down the health buff and have it just the damage buff, so you still get kind of one-shot by mechanics, or?
Well, the one thing they could do is just get rid of it, because it sucks. The other thing they could do is they should have if they're gonna have you have to do tie weeks, there should be a different timer for tie weeks versus Fortified weeks.
Okay.
Because it doesn't make any sense if you're not comparing the two anymore, and they're supposed to be different, then each one should have a different time.
Watch out.
If you had to put a tangible variable to that, you're thinking like a 10% longer?
I would say probably like close to like 15% longer.
I wonder if there's any numbers that based on like these ones are done at this speed, if there's some kind of numbers out there for this.
Yeah, you can probably look at the top runs for the dungeon and see what the time for Tyrannical is, or for Fortified is, and then go down 500 pages to the best time for Tyrannical, and there you go.
So I feel like you can all Fortified affixes. Okay, so Fortifieds, there's what, 6 27s. So for ties, there's only 126. So right there's a variable to it.
Yeah, so you should definitely have more time for tie week.
Yeah, it's comparable to there's, what is that, 1 2 3 4 5 6, there's 7 25s and there was 6 27s, so that's 2 levels
Those
up.
ones you're looking at, those ones aren't even timed.
Oh, these are just completions too.
Yeah. So the highest is a 24.
Okay, highest.
Yeah, but people also aren't pushing for it nearly as much. So, I mean, that is a factor.
Oh, there's less
reward
people
in doing it
trying
on a tie week. Yeah, I mean, there's no reward in doing it on a tie week when you can just wait till next week and do it on Fort. So, definitely don't push as hard.
There's
Which I think is
also a
one
reason
draw
for it.
to having a separate score.
All right, and then for 9.1, did you guys look into the new level 10 affix that we're getting?
look, but there, there's not 100% that's going to be there, right? Like, they're still messing around with it.
I think the idea is probably set in stone. It's just how they're going to implement it, like what exactly it's going to be, as far as what animal powers you get, and blah blah blah, how you get them.
5 months later, my car is finally leaving.
So you think this is more Blizzard kind of not wanting to let go of the whole Torgath thing and trying to implement it in every aspect of the game?
I mean, I think it'll be cool if they do it right. If they don't do it right, then it will be cool. Because, like, you know, I mean, there's some runs of Torghast where you get the right powers and you're like, hey, this is actually pretty neat. And then there's some runs of Torghast where you just, like, don't get anything you need. And if that randomness is in that 10th affix, that's going to suck.
Yeah, I don't have high hopes because they obviously can't make it too bonkers, or it's gonna ruin the competitive nature of Mythic Plus. So I mean, can't go too crazy. So it's got to be something that's homogenized between, like, you know, DPS players just get this power, and then it's kind of just whatever. Just have this one thing, this aura of.
I mean, like, if you look at, like, this season's affix, what the top teams do now is they don't even do it. They spawn the guy and then they vanish or whatever they can do to get out of combat with him, so they don't have to actually do it.
So they don't do any of them, or just a couple of them?
They usually don't try. They try not to do any of them because it takes more time to kill the prideful boss than it would to lose time because your DPS isn't as high on trash.
Oh, wow. So, 2 of the fixes I saw for this thing, one gave you like 35% more damage, and then one gave 2 allies closest to you like 15% more damage. So, if these are random effects, it kind of gave me like a Diablo 3 vibe, where people pushing high-end keys are kind of fishing for these like perfect dungeons.
Yeah, that would be horrible if that's what happens. Because guess what? Your key depletes if you don't have the right effects, right?
Right. So then you go in there, everybody else gets damage, and you get something goofy, like your character blows bubbles throughout the instance. Like, then do you guys leave, deplete it, and like reset, or do you just push through and you're like, oh great, because Drew got bubbles this one, we get no bonus?
Oh, yeah. If it's like that, then people are not gonna want to play. Personally, like, if I were in that situation, you can't reset, right? Because you've got to try to push that key, because if you reset, it goes down to underneath that, and then basically you waste time with next time trying to push it back up to where it was.
Right. I just see this somebody like me that doesn't do a lot of keys. Like, okay, I finally sit down to push KSM, and we do 5 runs, and we keep getting bad affixes. So, like, we're off by this new variable that would have been like, if I would have got this right anima roll, we would have had it each time, and now I've done 5 keys that have been wasted because of the random affixes.
Yeah, and I think the entire point of doing Mythic Plus is you know what the rules are going into them. It's always been that way. And if they were to do this, it would really, I mean, especially for like the world first type stuff, that just throws that out a window of like, okay, well, if you get the perfect thing, then you're lucky, and that's why you're there, not because you have the skill to be there.
So, God, what a mess, huh? It's...
Yeah, I think it's going to be I don't think you're seeing this in its final form. It's probably going to be a static, everybody gets this all the time type thing for at least this week. It might change per week, but you can't have the playing field different for people at the same time.
I wonder if they're going to tie it to a certain person. Like, this domination ad's going to drop this effect for people. This one's going to drop this, and just rotate the different ones throughout there.
I feel like they can't do a different one each week though, because that just adds one more layer of a fix, right?
Yeah.
All right, and
Basically, just turns the +10 into a random every week, which actually maybe not bad.
It may be maybe not bad, but then also it may be horrible. And it goes from week to week, so.
right, they'll put the good ones in with the tie weeks and the bad ones in with the 4 weeks, so people just won't run keys anymore.
Genius.
All right, and it looks like we're getting the ability to delete keys back, I believe. Did you guys see this? Like one delete or one flip or something?
Yeah, but it's implemented fucking weird. It's stupid.
It is, because you don't ever get what
Might as well
you want.
not have put it in.
They never give you what you want.
You get one chance, and you have to run a key of equal or greater level, and then you can reroll your key at the end of that dungeon once per week. Like, it's such a weird implementation that it might as well not have been implemented at all.
So what you get out of your vault, you're stuck running, but if you go to a dungeon, it gives you an option to re-roll the new key you got, or if you run somebody else's key, you can re-roll your key.
Yeah. It sounds like the same, like the Diablo thing where you get to upgrade your gem at the end.
Yeah,
So,
it's weird because especially for like Pug World, like I guess for a team of 5 it's not bad because if 2 people have a key that they don't want to fucking run, you just run one of the other 3's key and then re-roll those 2 people's key from that. But you either have to do that or run the key that you want to re-roll anyway. Like,
Yeah. I mean, like, they could just address the issue of why do people not want to run these dungeons?
well, I think that's mostly that like they don't oh, I don't need this dungeon. I don't want to do this one because I don't need it. I think that's really the major issue.
Is it? Because, like, for me personally, like, and it's always been this way, like, in BFA it was this way too. You get a certain dungeon that's dead freaking key because no one wants to run that dungeon. And it used to be Shrine
Yeah,
of the
your
Storm.
Shrine of the Storms. Yeah. Like, I don't like Plaguefall really much.
Right?
That's really
But,
my
like,
only gripe.
But what they have to do is, like, gauge which ones are the popular dungeons, and maybe you mess with that timer and you throw an extra minute in for the ones that people don't do all the time, you know?
So I guess out of the dungeons we have right now, like your new Storm, what's that for you guys then? Like his is Plaguefall, what's yours, Drew?
You know, as weird as it is, mine is Halls of Atonement.
That's weird.
I don't mind
the timer is so tight on that is the one that it's just like, okay, it's not getting done.
That's the one, I guess. If you just don't do it perfectly, you're fucked.
Yeah.
It's not horrible, but one screw up and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the other one that has always been bad is ones that are like enclosed areas, which is like Sanguine Depth is a lot like Tol Dagor. except for people don't run through walls accidentally when you pull them. But there's just certain aspects that people like, certain aspects that people don't. Everybody liked Freehold, right? You got to look at that dungeon and be like, okay, why? Because there's huge packs you can pull, which are fun. And, you know, I mean, like, the bosses aren't too complex either.
Like, I don't think I've done many the other side, just because I strictly, when I go to do a key, I look at what's going to be the fastest. So I look for Mist or I look for Atonement.
I was about to say that the reason Freehold was so well liked is because it was the fastest. Had nothing to do with the pulls or anything, just because it was the fastest. Same with like Maw Souls and Legion. It was the favorite because it was the fastest.
Well, not necessarily. In BFA, the fastest was actually under rot. If you did it right, under rot you could get down in like 15,
yeah, but like
15 minutes.
Speed versus effort, right? So Freehold was the easiest, therefore the fastest.
Yeah, it was the fastest for anybody to do, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, look at why people like running Mists. It's the fastest and the easiest.
Like, I'm trying to think of the bosses compared in Underrot as opposed to like Freehold. The Underrot bosses were harder too, right?
I mean, there was definitely a the thing about the Underrot bosses is like the very first boss was like definitely a DPS check. On tie weeks at least.
Right, and then the second
Really?
Actually,
the first one?
Yeah.
I feel like the first one was the only one that really wasn't, because Kragmaw was the big fucking shitter of Underrot. I thought. Second boss.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, like in my experience, at least in pugs and everything, like that was the problem. Was you wouldn't have enough DPS to kill him on tie weeks at high keys. And then, of course, the group would break up. So my experience, it stops there at that first boss usually. So
if 9 out of 10 dungeons add on the first boss, that's what it correlates to.
yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, like, I guess they just need to kind of look at it and be like, okay, people want shorter dungeons and not like shrine dungeons or the other side or anything like that, you know.
Well, to be fair, like even Shrine, if you just went through it without any issues, you fucking smashed through that dungeon. It wasn't like long.
I mean, there was a lot of stupid like RP crap too, you know.
That's true.
No one wants RP. Like the first time,
Fuck this RP.
it's okay.
In a Mythic plus key, like a timed key, it feels pretty bad though.
Yeah, or like in Spires of Ascension, flying from one place to the other, or flying up to last boss. That's just stupid. There should be a teleport there in Mythic Plus.
Yeah, but I think that's also where, I think that's also where pathing comes into play though. Like, I don't know, I'm mostly thinking specifically there, like a teleport to the last boss. I mean, there's a bunch of the eels all over the place that usually factored in.
Yeah.
But I have to be right back.
All right. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that like maybe the dungeon design needs to be changed rather than changing other things.
You think it might be partially to Blizzard, lack of better words, kind of hemorrhaging high-end employees, and maybe they're restaffing WoW with the Diablo team, so that's where they're getting the Diablo ideas?
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. I mean, they're hemorrhaging boys off every team, right?
Right.
But yeah, something's gonna happen because I mean, like it's been. We got a vaccine and rolled it out to enough Americans that we can go back to returning to real life before we got a WoW patch in the same amount of time. So
Fair.
that's kind of crazy, right? It's like the thing that everyone thought was going to be impossible happened before Blizzard released a patch.
Right. I don't know what's going on over there. I enjoy the child reference that you could conceive and have a kid before Blizzard can roll out a new patch. Like, so like, I started Shadowlands. I had a kid, and it's still the same patch.
Yeah, you can design. You can design your own child from scratch and release it before WoW will release a patch.
And it'll be a real child. It won't be a beta. Oh man! All right. Well, we'll wrap it up for the Mythic Pluses and Valor Cap also for you people pushing the limits. Went up to 14,000, so you got a lot of Valor you can play with here. We got World Boss this week. We got Aronimus. The Ever Branching. So down in Southwest and Ardenweld. Man, I really can't say WoW names.
Yeah.
Is it Ardenweld or Wield?
I don't know. It's hippie land is what I call it. Not Boulder, but the other hippie land.
Fair.
Yeah. Now, and the thing about the world bosses is like, I mean, they're there, I guess, you know. But if you've been playing for longer than a month, I don't even go and kill them for anything.
See, I'm still doing alts, so like part of the reason we throw this out there is I slew alt and I pushed to get my hunter up, and he hit max level 2 days after this boss 2 was the one after he was up, so I had to wait 4 weeks to get my Lego.
Yeah.
So
Which is a bad design, right?
Right. It
I mean,
time gated, like that's a huge time gate.
yeah, especially like when it's that big of an upgrade. It's like, okay, basically you aren't a real hunter until you get this thing. You can't get this thing for another 4 weeks, no matter what you do. It's just not a good design. And it's the same thing with people that are waiting for stuff from Torghast. It's like for my Vengeance Demon Hunter, I had to wait for that to roll around. And what sucks about that is you never know when it will,
Right.
because it's just random.
Yeah, that's another awkward thing. Like, so the Torgath not having a set pattern doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't understand the logic behind that.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah, because I mean, like, it doesn't matter if you know ahead of time or whatever you do. If you don't like a certain wing, you aren't going to do that wing, no matter if it's a surprise or not, you know?
I guess I don't know the reason. It's almost like the little reset shards for your soul binds. Like, some things Blizzard puts in there as a because we can, not we should.
Yeah, I don't know. It's dumb.
All right.
Super dumb.
So anyways, if you're one of these classes, Fire Mage, Marksman Hunter, or Resto Druid, your memories are going to drop from these bosses to build your Legos. It's going to be best in slot for Fire Mage. It's going to be one of the top tier PvPs for Hunter. And it's top PvP for Resto Druid. So these three guys, if you just got to tune up, get out there, get those. You will need those to compete. The Fire Mage, it's the Fevered Incantation. Marksman Hunter is the Surging Shots. And Resto Druid is the Verdant Infusion. So go get your 250 anima, potentially 207 item, and get these memories to build out those Legos for those 3 specs. If you're one of those 3, you sure want to get out there. All right, in raid numbers, so Cutting Edge is still going at a pretty good pace, It went up by another 104 overall. We're now at 1,479 guilds with cutting edge. Horde went up a good chunk of that. Horde's at 1,134, so it went up about 80. Alliance 345, went up roughly 30. Alliance is getting smoked. Maybe they're all in TBC. Maybe that's why they're not pushing.
I mean, it's just like that's because all the good PvE guilds are Horde. That's actually all the good PvP guilds are Horde too. So it's just a change that happened, and I don't think that's ever going to come back to the Alliance side.
Is that because a good 20? This is a random percentage. 20%, maybe like 17.5% of Alliance are out in Gold Share dancing in the inn.
I want to say, was it Hakkd would know this? Unfortunately, it's not here, but there's a major exodus from the Alliance side in TBC and in BC. Originally, the Alliance was where it was to be at. So, like, if you look at it, I know they're going to have like world first and different things on the different realms, but if you watch, I bet you it's going to be completely flipped, and you're going to see Alliance do a lot better in probably Classic they did, and then in TBC. But I think it was like maybe Cataclysm or something. They changed the racials to make everybody go back over to the Horde side because they didn't have a lot of players over there, and then they just never came back. So, I mean, until something like that happens to bring people back to the Alliance side, the Horde is going to continue to dominate this every single time.
Right, because I think we talked about that a week prior, where they made that change, made Horde so powerful, and they kind of kept it that way for too long, where the tables have tilted so far now in the Horde's favor. It's going to take something drastically increase on Alliance side to be able to pull back that volume.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even that like Horde overpowers Alliance anymore anyway. It's just the fact that like they're done, right? Like it's done. Everybody's Horde. All the progression oriented people are Horde, so if that's what you're going for, you go Horde. In most cases, that's the community perception, at least. Because I mean, look at our guild. We do well. I mean, honestly, I think even if our guild really pushed for it, we could have some solid mythic progression. We're just happy going for AOTC and then chilling and hanging out. That way, it can be a more laid back environment.
Yeah.
So, raid recap, did we knock it out Wednesday in one night, or?
Well, we did all of it except for the last boss on that night, but I wasn't there for it because I had to work. And then me and Kat went here to Dallas for the weekend, and we didn't have enough people to go on Friday. So this week we only cleared everything but Sire.
You guys got some reps in on Donnie, or you got all the way up to it in the 2 hours?
We got all the way up to it in 2 hours. We're having some issues on Stone Legion this week.
I'm gonna blame the prot warrior.
Tank issues.
No, they had to have Cheat go prot, which he does fine, but he does so good at DPS that it's just like you lose so much with him going prot.
That just
yeah, that's true.
Did he still like top 3 in the charts as prot?
No, not as prot, but I'm saying like that you lose his DPS as Fury, which is usually one of the top at least 3 each pull, and then you take that away and you just turn it into a tank. That doesn't do any damage.
not to toot my own horn, but it was a little slower too because I was super late, so I didn't show up until like an hour in, so that definitely slowed down that a little bit. That
Yeah.
rep pally DPS go burr.
So a combination of not having Drew tanking, not having Cheats DPS, and not having Hakkd DPS. So you guys are kind of like the cornerstones of the tripod of the guild. Per
No,
se.
not necessarily. It's just, it is definitely a good percentage of damage not there. And tanking comfortability. Oh, Cheat did great. From the 2 bosses that I was there for.
Yeah.
But definitely missing his DPS is
Yep.
a big ouch.
And
we
the
were
thing
missing
is,
spec.
yeah, and
She's
the thing is
big
with
deals.
Prot, it's one of the lowest damage. So not only are you missing Cheats Fury, but you're basically turning him into one of the worst damage tanks out there.
Yeah, I think also, so even on Stone Legion, we ended up needing an extra healer. So I went heals because the options were either me or Risen, and Risen fucking smacks me on that fight for a DPS. But that's also a thing, is I think he might have had to swap to heals a couple of times, which, he's big Shadow Priest damage too. So missing out on him, it's just a culmination of all those things not
Yeah.
helping our people.
All right, good deal. So next week, I guess next week is it going to be a little bit rocky because next week is TBC drop. Is everybody still going to come back, or is it going to be kind of what are the plans there, boss man?
It sucks because these next 2 weeks for my work, insane. So as much as I want to just go, hey, let's go into TBC and let's have fun and let's raid, I probably won't be able to do any of that. And then, after everybody's all leveled up, then I'll be the one they're ganking. So
Fair. All right, so let's cover this week in WoW. So we got 2 things coming up this week. Well, 2 retail things. So it's going to be Arena Skirms week. So we got that bonus honor this week in there, and I believe it's crush 10 of them, get some kind of bonus to it. And then we get to step into the darkness. It's Torgath Unbridled Darkness week again. So
Lynkz's favorite.
oh my god, this is the most train wreck thing they could have done. Because
I need to get
Cool.
Moose back in for the week.
see, these guys run it with people they know. If you run it with Pugs and you go into blind mode, Pugs won't give a shit. Like, you're dead.
Why would you do that?
Well,
we ran a. Man, we ran. So me and Moose had a fucking blast with that last time, running a couple with me and him, and then 5-man group. We had everybody in there, and it was fucking fun.
Yeah, I think I overheard. I think Kat was in that group.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, you guys are laughing a lot. So I don't know. Like the you fix the different switching up with Torghast with that type of stuff. I think it's cool. I think it's stupid that it's not consistently cool. It's like, yeah, you do this, and you can get this awesome thing, or you could do this and it's gonna suck for you.
Man, that was a while ago too. That was back 10 weeks ago was when that happened, back in episode 8, when Into the Darkness with Hakkd and Moosedin. So it's been a minute.
That was a good episode.
Yeah, I'm not going to go in there. I'll be honest. I'm not going to do it. So it's a fun event if you've never done it before, but don't get the affix that turns the lights off and on based on kills, especially if it's going to be one of those dungeons that has the platforms, because you're going to have to die.
Not solo, at least. You have to. if you're solo, you take the one that's on used.
Yeah, the unused one's actually pretty cool.
Right. And when I first went into it, I didn't know there was different ones. I thought this was the only one. So as I'm dying, running around blind, I'm like, this is the dumbest thing ever. I hate this game. Like, I didn't want to come into here in general, and then they did this to me. So.
Yeah, what if that's the 10th fix? There you go.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, yes. Like, oh shit, we're going blind, guys. We're going blind.
So bad.
Okay, so this is getting deep in the weeds, but what if they did it where you went blind and you had to kill some certain ad that had like a light bulb or some shit, but the only one that could see in the darkness is the Demon Hunter with their spectral sight? So like, does Demon Hunter get locked in as the meta then because you need one to see?
As if it's not already.
Right? Yeah, they need to bring him up there. The poor Demon Hunters.
Oh man. I told you about my BFA Demon Hunter experience, right? Because BFA was after Legion, right? And now we're in Shadowlands.
Yep.
I got like 3 levels into BFA before I realized Demon Hunters were still a thing. Like, I guess in my head, I thought we left him in Legion. So, like, I had just a wave of, like, sadness washed over me as I'm like, oh, they're still here. Like, I thought we were done with them. Like, I just didn't like Demon Hunters. Because when they come out, they become the new toy, and all the bad people play them. So I didn't play with any good ones. So, like, all Legion, I was just like, oh, Demon Hunters are so bad, because it's every kid that doesn't know how to play the game just got a max level 1, and they don't know what they're doing.
On a side note, I made Demon Hunter now, so
Right, and see, now we're
yeah.
expansion past, and now it's not
His
the new
point
toy.
stands.
So, all right. So, those are the 2 events this week: Arena Skirms, Unbridled Darkness for Torgath. Big event on Tuesday, which might roll into like 3 in the morning on Wednesday if they follow how pre-patch went. TBC launches
No shit.
this Tuesday if their servers work or if their IT team works or whatever happens.
I mean, the entire point of a pre-patch is to make it so that all you do is you unlock the area and people go in, right? Because all the major systems should already be in play.
So you're saying it should have been easier to turn the switch on than it was?
From going from pre-patch to actual content patch, yeah, it should be, and that was the entire reason why the WoW team does it that way. Is they've always done it ever since then. TBC or BC they didn't, and I think they had like tons of problems. But what they did was they released the pre-patch. It has all the new systems, all the new talents, all the stuff that can really screw up the game, right? And then hopefully the idea is you get all that smoothed out there, and then the only thing you have to deal with is a billion people going into one.
Man, I wish I could find the video. It's
Yeah, wishful thinking, but they've.
From everything else that
I
you could possibly-
hope that it goes off well, considering they've done like 3 more patch days since then. So they should have it all figured out and ready to go.
so. I guess how big of a cluster do you think it's going to be with how many people like rushing through that gate? Is it just going to be a mess? Do you think they're going to shard it enough that it's going to balance it out?
Well, they're gonna shard the crap out of
Be
that.
mad. Doesn't yeah, but if there's still gonna be a ton of people. Did either of you play Classic Launch?
Yes.
Like night Dude, it was insane. Like, just playing, just creating an undead and seeing all of the undead rushing out of the tomb. This was with sharding, like, but this was just undead on just one server, on just one shard.
See, and so that aspect,
And
there
it
was
insane.
Classic launch day, there was what, 4 races for each? So it divided up in roughly 6 zones, right? Because a couple are paired together. So you've got all the people in 6 different zones. Now you're putting all the people into one zone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Into one.
But also you have to understand they didn't shard. They didn't shard it like they're going to.
It's broken up.
I mean, they did
like-
shard it.
They did, but they didn't do it in the same way that like retail does it. And
Right,
retail is how they're going to be doing BC.
And I guess that was a breakup.
Oh yeah, I guess it wasn't called sharding, it was called phasing? Question mark?
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Or
called
something
phasing
else.
because it still kept you on the same realm as the other people on your server, I think.
Right.
All right, and since you guys are both on your phone, are you guys able to see Discord?
Yeah, I'm on a laptop too.
Let me see if these screens are set up, unless they're broken. Okay, these still work. So I found this this guy that makes these sweet little videos. And let's see here. Pull up Chrome to make it visible.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to watch it.
Well, I'll describe it to you, Hakkd. Play for play.
Okay.
Media
There's a black
source.
screen with white lettering.
Where are you at, Chrome?
The big question now is, will Lynkz hit the play button? Or will he not?
Well, I don't think I've got it up on the screen in the
I can see it.
in Discord, but in the stream.
Yeah.
Really? So if I
Yeah. It's right there.
oh no, so it's not shown in the OBS.
It's right there.
Window capture. We'll add this real quick. We'll do it live. Alright, there we go. Now we'll play it. This is TBC launch day. What it's going to look like.
Hello.
I can only imagine.
Excellent.
So the breakdown of that video, Hakkd, is basically there's going to be a lot of people. And mages will be higher power leveling in slate pets.
I mean, I can imagine I wasn't being I was being truthful there. Oh shit, dude.
And that YouTube video is brought to you buy WowItsHard. I'll put a link to his stuff in the description. He makes these little clips with just the stick figures, I guess. Stick figure.
Oh
people.
yeah, I love those.
Or is it Wow It's Shard? You never know.
WowItsHard.
Hmm.
Yeah, you don't know.
Could be, especially with the transition now. So.
But no, have you seen his video of it was Arena in WoW Arena in Shadowlands, and it's the video where they give Rogue the Nerf bat, give him a little bonk, and then just beat the shit out of Rogue. So good.
All right, so I guess TBC Pre Patch. Drew, had you give the Paladin a little more attempts besides that one dungeon run, or has he been shelved?
Did. So it's at 15 and a half, and I actually went into, geez, what was it? It was
Undead
Strat. Yeah, Undead Strat. Which, by the way, I completely forgot that there are spiders in there when they web you. They make it so you can't cast anything while you're webbed, which really sucks.
So
for me
many silences.
and Risen, because we're both paladins, and I think if that happens, this is done. But it was actually I had a lot of fun for the first time. I didn't. We did a Dire Maul run since the last time. Didn't have a lot of fun in there, but I did have a lot of fun in Undead Strat. I think it might be that I'm actually getting more gear, and it's a little bit easier. I don't have to drink for quite as long, but I can still feel that I'm underpowered for my level and everything.
Yeah,
But,
you man it up a lot quicker for sure.
Yeah,
Throughout that dungeon.
and like I think once TBC rolls out, because the one thing I remember going into TBC was I was wearing those like tier 2 and tier 2.5 pretty much all, and then I did one quest and replaced it. So at the time that sucked, but at this time it's going to be amazing. And it's going to be, if I remember right, pretty much every quest item has the ability to slot gems into it, because this is the expansion that released Jewel Crafting. So you're going to have a lot more say over the stats you get.
Right, gem everything.
So, do you know off the top of your head what your mana pool is at? Like how much mana you have at max level?
I don't. I'm only at 59 and a half, so
Okay.
I probably won't make it to 60 before launch. And like I said, this next week is going to be crazy for me. So I'll probably be doing TBC once all the bugs are out and everybody's back inking. So.
All right, fair. So, after you comment about how shitty tanking on the Paladin was, I did a couple runs on my Paladin. It's like 30 something, and I did SM Graveyard a few different times. And I found it was pretty much I go pull the group, I concentrate, and then I basically just leave my seal on, and I don't even judge it because otherwise I'll go and I just try and auto attack the one that people are on to pull threat. No, that's not good.
All right. Okay, so yeah, you can concentrate. You got to make sure that you use your seals, because, well, actually at that level I don't know.
So I don't wisdom. So
yeah, you can judge wisdom and then like
see, I don't
seal
know wisdom
light
at that
or
point,
whatever.
so I'm not able to do that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't know at that level what you do. Do you have Holy Shield at least? No, you can't. That's too far down. Yeah.
41, you get the end of the tree.
Yeah, that's rough. I don't know.
And also I ran as Rhett with a shield too, so.
Wow.
I mean, were you having issues holding threat? Because Consecrate is super... eats a lot of mana, but especially at the lower levels, it's really powerful.
I also gave everybody Salvation too, even though they wanted the other things. I put Salve on everybody, and it wasn't an option.
You're one of those
so,
guys.
Yeah. So is my buff, my rodeo. Here, take this, clowns. So
Yeah, it's if I remember right, like leveling up the one, like your consecrate should be snap aggro basically on everything, but it takes up basically a fourth of your mana each time you do it. So from what I remember, basically you do it at the beginning and you don't do it on a cooldown because you'll run out of mana like crazy fast.
Does it? I don't even know the tooltip. Does it tick longer than the cooldown?
I don't think so. I think it takes
like
exactly
6
as long as
seconds
the
to 6
cooldown
seconds
is.
or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think so.
Man,
Not 100% sure, but I thought I saw some paladin boosting video. So I think it does tick longer than the cooldown, because I'm not 100% sure, but I do remember seeing him like overlap consecrates. I thought. I might be wrong though.
It might, yeah. I just didn't think at that point they had that because it does now, 100%. But I didn't think they had that.
Well, I also think consecrate replaces itself now, which it probably does in BC, and I'm just dumb. But just watching a video, it looked like he was overlapping consecrates like on top of each other. But I'm probably wrong.
yeah, it's 8 and 8. So
Yeah, I think the actual visual effect doesn't fade for like half a second after it's done. So
That's probably
looks that
why.
way, definitely.
Yeah, that's probably why I thought that.
all right, so Drew's gonna be busy. Hakkd, I guess, is TBC gonna take most of your time this coming up week then, or?
Probably. I'm definitely going to be down to hop on retail for the weekly raid, but that's probably about it. Just like the past month and a half.
Hey,
Okay. And you're gonna be reliving those glory days of just killing people out in Outlands, out in open world.
Sadly, no, because we're on a PvE server.
Ooh.
I am going to go be hitting up them towers, though. I will be hitting up the towers, because you'll have those guys wanting to go get them, because there's a quest for it. So, I'll be able to get some one-shots in.
All right, so fair warning to you horde people on Woodstaff server. Watch out for the towers. A Hakkd will lay there in the darkness.
Wood staff.
Yep, I'm not even gonna attempt it. All right. Well, I guess those are the topics I had. We've got one more big announcement from Drew about this potential upcoming IRL event. Like,
yeah, we're trying to narrow down where we're gonna do it. And one of the contenders is definitely Salt Lake City, because they have a Comic-Con that happens at the same time. And we would be able to do a lot of the same things that we could do at BlizzCon, because of course they canceled BlizzCon because they're lazy bastards. But
Or because
it's not though, because like you cancel something, you gotta realize that like BlizzCon's not for another 6 months, right? So
yeah,
it's not,
but California, dude. But California is gonna be COVID lockdown for the next 4 years, man.
well,
It's California.
but the thing is, like, they opened up Disneyland, right? Like they're making progress and everything. I don't know. I just think that they're just lazy bastards. That's just.
I mean, that's also true. I just mean, like, don't discount the fact of, like, how hard it probably is to get shit like that moving in Cali
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. I think it would take probably about. They're probably about a good 2, maybe 3 months behind, but we got 6 months until BlizzCon. So, but anyways, Salt Lake City is going to have their Comic-Con and that's going to be one of the options that we're putting on the table. And I think it would probably match pretty well up with what we want to do. There's going to be some guests and some really cool guests that they're having. One of them for the Blizzard world is the actress that voices Symmetra is going to be there. And usually when that happens, they all freaking show up. So
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Well, yeah, I guess they've got other appearances lined up for Blizzard and not having events. They got to get paid somehow, right? So.
right.
All right, good deal. So look for new things to come here, new updates for the potential Mightcon to replace BlizzCon. So, all right.
We gonna get lit.
I guess we'll have a short one for the week since everybody's kind of running mobile. Hakkd, what do you got for final thoughts this week then?
I would like to probably talk more about the Mightcon deal in weeks to come for sure. And yeah, dude, TBC's taking up all my time. I'm all in on that, so I have more to talk about next week. See how the Dark Portal goes.
All right, good deal, good deal. Mr. Drew, what do you got?
I got a lot of work here the next couple weeks. So if you guys don't see me playing games, it's not like, oh, you just up and left. I'm going to be back in it as soon as I can. I am looking forward to the TBC a lot. And Kat is almost done leveling her shaman for next patch, I think. So I'll be back in retail also running tons of dungeons, gearing her up.
Nice, so that's the third healer she's playing on 9.1 with?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, there's been the druid, the paladin, and now the shaman. And I think the reason why we talked about that was the shaman's always good at the beginning, just because the amount of heals that it can put out is far superior than pretty much anything else. And the paladin's going to be better once people don't need those heals and needs the damage back. So
It's not always good at the beginning. Look at pretty much all of BFA. Shami was gross.
that's true. But like with the redesign and how they work now, definitely.
No, yeah, they're going to be
gonna
solid
top.
now.
So
All right, good deal, good deal. All right, so it's going to be a heavy TBC week this week. If you want, that's where I'm going to be pretty much on Horde side of Grobulus, trying to kill those RPers on the Alliance side for a little bit. And
Yep.
you can say
I'll probably
Grobulus,
actually
but
be
not Tesh.
throwing the...
yes, because it's simple. I could sound
Yeah,
spell
it's
it.
because that's his server, right? It's
Right.
his server, so of course he can say it.
It's
yeah.
easy to pronounce, and it makes sense. It's not like arugula or woodstaff, so...
I actually do have one more thought to put out. I finally have all my shit back and kind of have a setup. So especially with TBC coming, I will actually be firing up the stream.
Shit.
Look for the info for that.
Yep, his stuff will be below in the description. What, Tuesday night? Going live then for TBC as you struggle to load in the Dark Portal?
Yep, Tuesday night.
Are you gonna have the Go XLR going?
Yes, I will.
Nice.
I don't have. I have it ready. I just haven't hooked it up yet. It's out of laziness. But I'll have that going. Have everything set up, ready to go.
Cool.
All right, good deal. So watch for Hakkd to go live first time in like months since the incident. So defreeze? No, he's still good. All right, and then of course we'll be back here every Sunday around 8 a.m. ish for the weekly WoW update with the Morning Wood. If you want to catch me one Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 to 9 o'clock Central Time, I've Hakkd streaming. I might go stream 2 on Tuesday, maybe dual stream. Talk with him, see how he's doing as he's killing Horde or watching Horde run by him because he can't in this softy server. So
Yeah.
I'll watch you guys.
I'm just gonna be
I
sad
live through you.
the whole time.
and Drew, of course, will be at work. He won't be in chat because he's got to be focused on working. I can't wink, so that was my sad attempt at winking. All right, good deal. Well, appreciate you guys that stopped out. We'll be back again, like I said, next Sunday for some Morning Wood. We'll see you guys then.
Peace out.